Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Monday morning because Chairman members cashed in on 5 different premium selections yesterday on my premium site. We had the Suns, Chiefs, Maple Leafs, Rockets plus 11. We also hit a 2-teamer in the NHL. And the only way you could access all of those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Chairman package. Chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast, absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on the free videos and what I do on my premium site. Well, what I do here on the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. And what I do on my premium side is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays on these videos that I actually like the best. Now, we're hitting at 79% our last 20 extra daily picks, 7-1 in our last 8 underdog tier package plays. And the good news is I have picks going off in both of those memberships here tonight. And yep, you guessed it, both of those memberships are included with your purchase of the Chairman package. Once again, folks, the site is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Cavs at the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Cleveland's -1.5 on the road, totals 215. And as dominant as Cleveland's been recently, they have had their issues offensively against the Magic. They're averaging just 109 points a game in their last 10 gatherings with Orlando. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. And as far as this season's concerned, well, the Cavs have struggled scoring points late. They're a bottom 10 point producing team in the second half. And unfortunately for them, the Magic play especially tough defense late in games themselves. Orlando's in the top 5 in defensive boards per game. And out of 20 contests on their home court, Orlando's got a win percentage of .700 even. Jalen Suggs leads the roster in steals per game, 40% shooting from three-land on offense. And scoring-wise, Paolo Banchero's the roster's leading points getter. He's dropping over 22 points a night. Now, injury-wise, Orlando's they're mostly healthy for the exception of Gary Harris. He's currently battling a hammy injury. Meanwhile, for the Cavs on the other side, Jerome, Garland, and Mobley are still inactive. Karis LeVert is day-to-day. And out of Cleveland's last 6 ball games, the under cashed in all of them. They also went 60% to the under in their last 10 meetings with Orlando. So once again, if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. And out of the Magic's last 8 contests, the under cashed in all of those ball games except for one. Give the Magic plus 1.5, under 215. Next game, Bucks, Pistons, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Milwaukee's -12.5, totals 248. And for a team laying 12.5 points here, the Bucks have been awful against the point spread recently. They failed to cover in their last 4 straight. And out of their last 10 ball games, the Bucks failed to cover in all of those except for one. And a big problem for Milwaukee has been their defensive effort on the road. They're in the bottom 5 in the East in road points allowed. And they're facing a Detroit squad who's actually been red hot against the number this week. They're 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 straight. Covers against the likes of Minnesota, Houston, and this very Milwaukee team. And out of 10 home games this year against the Eastern Conference, the Pistons covered in 60% of those games. Doing a great job covering in their in-conference ball games. Jalen Duren grabs nearly a dozen rebounds a night, 64% shooting from the field. Meanwhile, Bojan Bogdanovic scores 20 points a game himself, and he's drilling 40% of his 3 balls. Now, injury-wise, Stewart and Morris are questionable for Detroit. Cade Cunningham's still out. Meanwhile, for the Bucks on the other side, Giannis is questionable with a shoulder injury. 3 out of the Bucks' last 4 contests did get over the total. They're also 11-6 to the over in their in-conference road games. Now, the Pistons are 78% to the over against divisional opponents themselves. Give me Detroit plus 12.5, over 248. Next game, Spurs, Sixers, 7 o'clock East. Philadelphia's minus 14 at home, totals 237. The Philadelphia is 16-6 at the Wells Fargo Center, and they covered the number in 73% of those home games. And as good as they've been offensively, well, Philly's been also a very tough team to shoot the basketball against. They've got the lowest defensive three-point percentage in the entire league. They're also allowing fewer third-quarter points than any other team in the NBA besides one. Joel Embiid leads the lineup in blocks, 8.5 defensive board a night for Joe. Meanwhile, Kelly Oubre is the active roster's steals leader. They're taking on a Spurs club who lost 7 out of their last 10. They certainly have trouble shooting the long ball. These guys are making just 31% of their three-pointers on the road. That is a league worst in that category. When it comes to rebounding the basketball, there's not many clubs out there worse than San Antonio. These guys average fewer defensive boards per contest than any other lineup except for one. Now, injury-wise, Zach Collins is questionable for the Spurs. Sidi Sissoko's out. Meanwhile, for Philly, Covington and Melton are still inactive. Bamba and Springer are day-to-day. 4 out of Philly's last 6 got over the total. Overs against the likes of the Magic, Nuggets, and Rockets. They're also 67% to the over in all of their games against the Western Conference. Now, San Antonio's gone 60% to the over in their out-of-conference road games. Give the Sixers minus 14, over 237. Next contest, Grizzlies, Raptors, 7:30 p.m. East. Toronto's minus 7.5, totals 227. And even though they're favored by several baskets, the Raptors have played some terrible basketball over the past couple of weeks. Out of their last 7 ball games, they took the loss in all of them except for one. Now, Toronto's also got a losing record in the Scotiabank Arena, and they're having all kinds of problems scoring points there. Toronto's currently a bottom 5 point-producing team at home in the East. Grady Dick shoots just 32% from the field. Jalen McDaniels is just 18% from three-land. Meanwhile, for Memphis on the other side, that's one of the things they can do well, guarding the field goal on the road. Memphis is currently in the top 5 in the West in defensive field goal percentage away from home. And out of their last 8 ball games, Memphis covered the point spread against the likes of the Warriors, Mavericks, and Suns. Jaren Jackson leads the roster in blocks per game, 21 points a night on offense. Meanwhile, Santi Aldama averages double-digit points a game himself. Now, injury-wise, Rose, Smart, Clark, Bane, and LaRavia are still out. Tillman's questionable. When it comes to the total, the Grizzlies saw unders recently against the likes of Golden State, New York, and Dallas. Meanwhile, Toronto saw their last 4 straight stay under the number themselves. The Raptors are also 4-1 to the under in their last 5 out-of-conference home games. Give me the Grizzlies plus 7.5, under 227. Next game, Hornets, T-Wolves, 8 o'clock East. Minnesota's minus 14.5, totals 220. And even though this is a tough number to cover here, the T-Wolves have been dominant in the Target Center. They're 17-3 in their own arena, and they're giving up just 102 points a night there. Rudy Gobert leads the lineup in blocks and rebounds. Karl-Anthony Towns grabs over 7 defensive boards a night. Now they're taking on a Charlotte team who lost 7 out of their last 8, and they failed to cover in all of those matchups except for one. And out of 21 contests away from home this year, the Hornets got the W only 4 times. They're in the bottom 3 in point production per game while traveling. Richards and Ball are questionable for Charlotte. Hayward and Williams are still out. 7 out of the Hornets' last 10 ball games stayed under the number. Meanwhile, the T-Wolves are 13-7 to the under on their own court. Give me Minnesota minus 14.5, under 220. Next game, Celtics, Mavericks, 8:30 p.m. East. Boston's minus 3, totals 238.5. Now, the Celtics got the W in 7 out of their last 10, and they are the toughest team to rebound against when they're on offense. Boston currently leads the NBA in offensive boards per game. Jason Tatum snags 8 rebounds a night, club leader in scoring. Meanwhile, Derek White knocks down 41% of his attempts from downtown. Now, they're facing a Dallas club who's one of the worst defensive rebounding teams in the game. They're in the bottom 3 in defensive boards at home. And out of their last 10 meetings with the Celtics, Dallas has really struggled on offense. They average only 104 points a game in those gatherings. Irving, Curry, Exum, and Green are questionable for the Mavs. Drew Holiday's day-to-day for Boston. The Celtics went 6-3 to the over in their road games this year against the West. Meanwhile, Dallas is currently 67% to the over in their out-of-conference ball games. Give me the Celtics -3 over 238.5. Next matchup, Bulls, Suns, 9 o'clock East. Phoenix is -5, totals 229. Now, the Red Hot Suns won their last 5 straight. They've been awesome underneath the basket. Phoenix currently grabs more defensive boards a game than any other franchise except for one. Yusuf Nurkic snags over 10.5 rebounds a night, dozen points a game on offense. And when it comes to point production, Kevin Durant is averaging nearly 30 points a game himself, 47% shooting from three-land. And the Suns are facing a Chicago team who's definitely not built for a track meet. The Bulls are in the bottom 3 in the East in scoring. And for some reason, the Bulls just can't get to the stripe on offense. They're currently in the bottom 3 in the entire league in free throw attempts per game. Now, injury-wise, Levine and Craig are still out. Drummond and Williams are questionable. Meanwhile, for the Suns, Bull is questionable for them. Lee is still out. Phoenix's last 3 straight fell under the total, 5-2 to the under in their last 7 out-of-conference home games. Meanwhile, Chicago saw unders recently against the likes of Toronto, Cleveland, and New York. Give me the Suns -5, under 229. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Hawks-Kings game, and that'll be a 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Sacramento's -8, totals 237. And even though Atlanta's Trae Young is out with a concussion, it's been Sacramento who's really struggled over the past handful of games. Sacramento is currently on a 4-game skid, and they struggled covering the point spread at home. Matter of fact, the Kings are covering in just 37% of their out-of-conference home games, and a lot of that is due to some poor defense. The Kings are letting their opponents make 40% of their three-pointers against them in the Golden One Center. And they're facing a Hawks team who's got several scorers other than Trae Young. DeJounte Murray averages over 21 points a game. Bogey's making 90% of his free throws. And out of 10 contests against the Western Conference this year, the Hawks have gotten the W in 60% of those games. Now, injury-wise, Young, Matthews, and Krejci are out for Atlanta. Hunter, Goye, they're still inactive. Atlanta's currently 70% to the over in their out-of-conference ball games. Meanwhile, Sacramento saw 7 out of their last 8 home games against the East get over the line. Give me the Hawks +8 over 237. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Magic +1.5 under 215. Pistons +12.5 over 248. Sixers -14 over 237. I'm 7-1 in my last 8 underdog tier package picks on my premium site. Grizzlies +7.5 under 227. Minnesota -14.5 under 220. Celtics -3 over 238.5. Suns -5 under 229. With my next and final free pick for the video, give me the Hawks +8 over 237. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium site. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site at patreon.com/BrockPage.